Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. I was running a little late today. Today's been just crazy, it seems. My internet's been wonky. The apartment building that I live in is getting a brand new roof, so I don't have my normal microphone because you'd just be hearing a bunch of banging and craziness as this is happening. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. I'm having a crazy one. So, if this is your first time joining us here on Refueled, let me give you the spiel at the top here. This is some of our favorite moments and favorite guests from Fueled by Deathcast. And if you've never heard of Fueled by Deathcast, that is a weekly podcast that comes out every single Thursday right on deathwishcoffee.com, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever podcasts are found. And you can find, I got all that right here too, yeah, right there. And you can also find everything at deathwishcoffee.com/deathcast. So hello to everybody watching on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Facebook. Once again, I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I do want to say at the top here, every single Monday, Deathwish Coffee comes out with a really rad newsletter called The Scoop. And if you don't get that, you go on over to deathwishcoffee.com/thescoop and sign up right meow. Sign up right meow for this, and you get all of this amazing content in your email every single Monday. That's blogs and podcasts and some really special stuff. Like we're giving away free books this week. I mean, get on it. We're doing so many cool things. You definitely want to check that out. Hello, everybody. Hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what's going on. So, without further ado, I want to get into this week's Refueled episode with a look back at one of my favorite guests and seriously, one of my favorite people in the entire world, Barbaranne Wylde. Barbaranne is Zakk Wylde's wife, as well as his manager, as well as the one who makes sure he gets all of his shit done. Barbaranne is amazing, and I've met her a couple times, got to hang out with her, and she's just, literally, she's one of my favorite people in the world. And we're going to look back at when she was on the podcast with some of my favorite clips. She told the story of her first date with Zakk Wylde, and I got a little too excited about it, so I apologize for my reactions, but it was just incredible that she told me that story, because I had never heard that story before. And she also talks about how Zakk and her kind of found Deathwish Coffee and how Valhalla Java was born. So that was really fun. And then also, if you're looking for, speaking of podcasts, obviously, go subscribe to Fueled by Deathcast right now. Go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or iHeart, wherever you listen to podcasts, hit that subscribe button, and you'll know about new episodes that are coming out all the time. But if you're looking for even more cool podcasts, you should subscribe to Barbaranne's podcast. Barbaranne and her friend Daniela Clark, they have a podcast called Honest AF, honest as fuck, and it's just those two ladies talking about being badass rocker chicks, talking about being really into, fashion and makeup and all that kind of stuff, and telling stories about, touring with their respective husbands. And they have special guests, like they just had Sharon Osbourne on the show. It's absolutely incredible. You can find Honest AF wherever podcasts are found. And when I had Barbaranne on my podcast, she had was just about to release episode 1. So we talk about like what it was like to get into podcasting with her and everything. And we also talk about how her and Zakk are really into donating and doing things with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So this is seriously one of my favorite people, one of my favorite episodes. So without further ado, here's a look back at this week's Refueled with Barbaranne Wylde. And I'll be in those comments, so let me know what you want to know.
Fueled by Deathcast.
You guys are the rock star royalty couple when it really comes down to it. Correct me if I'm wrong, you're high school sweethearts, right?
Actually, we first dated in 8th grade.
Oh my God!
Zakk always tells everybody we dated in 6th grade, but we did not date in 6th grade. We've known each other since 6th grade.
You dated in 8th grade. What was your first date?
Okay, this is funny that you bring this up. So we he asked me out, and I was class flirt in 8th grade, and also won it again senior year. So I have a little bit of a reputation. But anyway, so Zakk and I started dating, and he asked me to go to the movies at Jackson Cinema, which is no longer there, in our little town of Jackson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Great Adventure is the only thing that put Jackson on the map. But so we went to see The Urban Cowboy.
Oh my God.
And Zakk tried to go up my shirt. I wouldn't let him.
Good
So
for
he
you.
broke up with me the following Monday.
Oh.
So that's very funny.
Whoa.
So all throughout high school, from 8th grade on, I'm like, oh, God, Zakk Wylde's such a jerk. Like, I didn't like him at all. I thought he was just like, total jerk. And then our senior year in high school, we became best buds again. He was dating a girl that was a friend of mine, and I was dating the bass player in his band. And we just really, he came to me in school one day and he said, do you really like Donnie, the bass player? And I'm like, yeah, he's okay. I mean, whatever. And he's like, well, I just want you to know I broke up with him for you, because I can't marry you if you're dating him, and I'm going to marry you one day. And we were like, I was 16 at the time, and he just, and the only reason I agreed to go out with him was because I cut class and I asked my English teacher for a pass, Mr. Balderi, and he's like, I'm only going to give you this pass if you agree to go on a date with Zakk.
Oh, your teacher said that.
He's like, this guy is crazy about you. He's a good guy. The way he looks at you, and I'm like, but he's got blonde hair. I only dated brunettes at the time, and I said, all right, I'll go on a date with him, and we've been together ever since.
Oh my God! Seriously, that
4
is,
kids, and I don't know, 30 some odd years later.
Yeah, that is a movie in itself, right there.
We love our relationship with Death Wish, and Valhalla Java has been a dream come true for Zakk, and it's the greatest thing.
Can we talk a little bit about how this came to be? Because I know a little bit from our side of it, but how did it come to be that Zakk wanted to even have a coffee?
Well, it's not such a secret that Zakk used to, love beer as much as he loves coffee.
Yep.
So when Zakk got sober 10 years ago, he really started to, knowing what I know about addiction, it's like you have to trade one for another, right?
Yep.
Because you're not going to change that part of somebody's personality. No. He plays guitar 10 hours a day. He still practices that much. I mean,
I think
everything.
He's addicted to guitar.
Yes, he is. He is. It's all or nothing with everything that he does. And most of the people that I know that have that personality, and that's why he's incredible at what he does, but so he really started to get into coffee, and he loves it. He loves the taste of it. He loves everything about it. It became like his new thing, and he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't smoke, he's sober, he doesn't drink alcohol, so coffee became like his his guilty pleasure, and he's very disciplined as far as his diet and health. He's always been really into bodybuilding and all of that, so it's something he really loves, and also for the fat burning properties as well, all of it. And so when over the years he had a different manager, and now Blasco, Rob Nicholson, manages Zakk with me, and when Blasco first started working with us in a marketing capacity, he basically asked Zakk, like, what are some of the things that you want to do, like, on your wish list? And Zakk said, I really want to do a coffee, but nothing, I haven't had anything brought to me that isn't just white labeled, that I don't feel good about, that I don't like the taste of it. I want to be involved. I don't want to just, associate myself with a coffee. I want it to be mine, and I want to love the people that make it. And and so Blasco brought him the Death Wish to try, and Blasco made the call, and he's like, okay, the world's strongest coffee, the world's strongest guitarist, it kind of just seemed like, the perfect marriage. So Zakk tried it and he loved it, and then Blasco got him in touch with John, John Swedish, and Mike, and they started to give Zakk some things to try. Asked Zakk what he was looking for, what he loved. And Zakk really loves a dark roast, and he loves the espresso. So basically Valhalla Java, which, you know, it's got the whole Viking, you know, Zakk's vision and the moniker of the Viking thing. Because everything, like the first guitar is an Odin.
Yep.
He is a Viking. I
Oh,
mean, let's
yeah.
face it, he's,
I
you
mean-
know, 6 foot and blonde, blue-eyed, and, you know, that's who he is,
Yeah.
the Viking on guitar. And he's even wearing the kilts all the time now. So,
Exactly.
You know. But he just, you know, he developed it with John and Mike, and he loves the profile. And literally, I mean, he doesn't put his name or likeness on anything that he doesn't use on a daily basis. And I kid you not, the canteen, everywhere all day. I mean, they're not allowed to, you know, you're not allowed to be in a Black Label tour without a Black Label t-shirt on, or Zakk Sabbath without, it's the uniform. You're not allowed to drink any coffee in Zakk's presence that isn't Valhalla or Death Wish. So it's just a great thing, and you know, it's something we're really passionate about. We love it, and you know, it's our Death Wish coffee family, you know. One of my very favorite people in the world, and really close friends of ours, are Gilby Clark and Daniela Clark. And Danielle and I we have this incredible connection. It was pretty instantaneous, and we're about to launch a podcast.
Excellent.
I'm going to plug a little bit here.
Please do.
It's going to be called the Honest AF, Honest as Fuck Show.
Yeah.
Real conversations with Daniela Clark and Barbaranne Wylde, and we're going to launch it in the next couple of weeks. And it's basically it's more of a lady show, but our situations are very similar. You know, she and Gilby got together when she was a teenager,
Yeah.
and maybe Gilby was 20, because there's a little bit of an age difference with them, but we were talking about it the other day. It's like, it's all we know.
Yeah.
We don't know anything else. You know, she's had very successful businesses in her own right. She had the Frankie B jeans line. That was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And she's got a new line that's launching too. She's like a fashion guru. We were originally going to do it based on beauty products, because we're both beauty junkies, and you know, we are very passionate about shopping
Yeah.
and beauty and products, and we're ageless, so we have to
Love it.
we're going to reveal some of our secrets, but then we realized, you know, it has so much more. We're so much more than just that. And our conversations, it's like, you know, we don't know too many people that have been with their spouse for, you know, 20 plus years,
Yeah.
and still completely head over heels in love. And I do think the big separations have a lot to do with that, because there's no monotony.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, still get passionate to see each other, still show up at the airport in, you know, with a wig and nothing under a jacket, you know, still have the role playing and all the fun things. Sorry, kids, if you're listening, because I know that's gross, but whatever. But anyway, it's just, you know, you have to keep it live. And I think
Yeah.
that's, you know, we were talking about that because, you know, it's all we know,
Yeah.
but it works for us.
You're out here for a really great cause, the St. Jude Gala
Always,
that's
yeah.
happening. And you and Zakk have been doing so much for St. Jude's. How did you guys first get involved with St. Jude's?
Actually, it's funny. My mom, since I was a little girl, always donated to St. Jude's, and we didn't have money, but she found whatever, you know, little bit of money she had, and she'd always send. And then when I went to work, Zakk's mother owned an acting and television workshop. She was a casting agent originally for Barbaranne, when Barbaranne wasn't a modeling school. It was actually an agency in New York. And she was a talent scout and an agent. And she started to work with St. Jude's too. So she, you know, I got her company to participate, and then when Zakk got got the gig with Ozzy and stuff, and we had money, it was always, let's donate to St. Jude's. And then at one point, my brother, when he was 28, got cancer. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Touch wood, he's been in remission since 2000.
Oh, wow.
So, and he has 3 beautiful boys, and he's, touch wood, healthy. But St. Jude's has always been near and dear to our heart. And Zakk always said, you know what, when we have something, St. Jude's is my cause. And we've been to St. Jude's many times. We actually, funny enough, I was getting my hair done in Beverly Hills, I don't even know, maybe 20 years ago now. And I saw a woman's bag with rhinestones and it had St. Jude's. And I said to the woman, "Oh my goodness, St. Jude's." And she's like, "Oh, I'm like the regional donor liaison for St. Jude's Children's Hospital." And I said, "Oh my God, like, I need to talk to you. This is, so special to me." And she and I forged a friendship. And I told her, if there's any way that we could have some sort of relationship with St. Jude's. She flew Zakk and I to Memphis. We toured the hospital. The research lab is through the hospital. Like, you
Yeah.
can't walk into the hospital to the research lab without going through the hospital. So those doctors and those researchers every day are reminded of these kids and the cause and the drive and the dream and trying to cure these kids. And they've come, there was like a 12% cure rate for childhood leukemia before St. Jude's really built the hospital and got involved. And they have doctors and nuclear physicists and these researchers and pharmaceuticals are developed there from all over the world. They have the Nobel Peace Prize winning physicist who developed the bird flu. The bird flu vaccine, excuse me.
Right.
Not the bird flu. But he's there in their research facilities, coming up with vaccines. And the AIDS vaccine, they have someone working on there. It's the most incredible place that you could ever imagine. And so when you become a donor for St. Jude's, they allowed us to tour the entire facility and then let Zakk decide if he wanted to focus his donation in one specific area. So Zakk was pretty enthralled with, they have like a robotic system where they'll take cancer cells and they'll put it into this robot, and the robot takes all different chemotherapies or even herbs and environment, like natural resources as well, and they'll test it on cancer cells in an infinite amount of different variables, and so that they don't have to test it on children or animals. Wow. And that really resonated with Zakk. So that became where our Barbaranne and Zakk Wylde, or Zakk Wylde and Barbaranne Wylde Foundation for St. Jude. So when we develop a reason to, when we have a fundraiser for them, the money is concentrated in that area right now.
That's so interesting. And that's just the future right there. Tech and medicine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. And since I've been connected with Death Wish and with you guys, I've gotten to learn a lot more about St. Jude's and their incredible facility and everything that they do there.
Amazing. It costs at least with last time I was there, it's probably increased because of the economy, but $52 million a day to run that hospital, and it's all pro bono.
Yeah.
They don't, the only thing you have to do in order to have your child to be treated at St. Jude's is have one of the diseases that they focus on and that they treat. So many childhood cancers, they do some sickle cell anemia work, there are a couple of other diseases, and then they also do protocol from their incredible wealth of research and doctors there. They'll, like, if you don't go there for treatment, you can, if you're in New York and your child has one of the diseases that they treat, your child's oncologist can work with St. Jude's, and they'll help them with the protocol so that you could stay local too. But it's the amount of things that they do for these children, the things that they've thought of, it's spectacular.
It really is. I definitely recommend going out and checking that full interview with Barbaranne. That is deathwishcoffee.com/wild, like you saw. One of my favorite people. Like I said, they donate so much of their time and money and energy to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. I'm going to be really sad that gala that happens every year isn't happening this year. It was really cool. Barbaranne got to come up last year, and she donated a guitar that was signed by Zakk and Ozzy. And she had the funniest story too, because when she brought it to Ozzy to sign the guitar, he signed the back at the headstock, like where Zakk had signed it, and then looked at it and looked at Barbaranne and was like, "Do you think that's good enough?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's totally fine. Like, I think it's probably fine." And he called Sharon in and he's like, "Do you think that's good enough?" And Sharon's like, "No, it needs to be bigger." So they flipped the guitar over and he scrolled his name like really big on the front of it, and it raised a bunch of money for St. Jude's. It was amazing. And unfortunately, that guy was gonna be put on hold this year. It'll be a virtual thing, but it's really nice when everybody is able to get together here in Saratoga Springs. So thank you guys so much for checking out this week's episode, Refueled, with Barbaranne. One more time, make sure you subscribe to Fueled by Deathcast wherever podcasts are found. Subscribe to Honest AF show as well. That's Barbaranne and Daniela's show as well. And this week, I got a whole month of August music interviews. Last week was Tom Hunting from Exodus. This week is Matt Harvey from Exhumed. And then some even crazier guests after that. So you definitely want to subscribe. Thanks, guys, so much. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. And as always, stay caffeinated and keep your mugs up. Bye, everybody.